The world has never been a peaceful place. Wars have occurred in every age. People have always endured crises, fear, and uncertainty. But sometimes humanity begins to sense something strange, as if something is changing, as if the world is accelerating, as if events are happening too quickly, as if the familiar order of things is beginning to collapse. And then the same question arises. Are we living in ordinary times, or in a special period of history? More than 1,400 years ago, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warned that before the day of judgment, the world would change. He described signs that would appear gradually. These are not mere legends. These words were transmitted in authentic hadith, in collections such as Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. And when you read them today, you cannot help but stop and reflect. Today we will examine 7 signs of the last days, as described by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Sign 1, time will begin to compress. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The hour will not come until time begins to compress. A year will feel like a month like a week, and a week like a day." This hadith is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. Think about it. Many people today say the same thing. I don't understand where the years go. When we were children, time seemed long. Summers felt like an eternity. 1 year felt like a vast stretch of life. But now, a week passes like a single day. Months disappear unnoticed, and sometimes a person suddenly realizes another year has gone by. Scientists explain this through psychology, but Muslims recall the words of the Prophet. He warned that before the last days, time would compress, and this is only the first sign. Sign 2, the disappearance of knowledge. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Allah will not take away knowledge by removing it from the hearts of people. Rather, He will take it away by taking away the scholars." This hadith is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. Reflect on the meaning of these words. Knowledge does not disappear suddenly. It departs gradually. When the scholars depart, when the wise depart, when those who devoted their lives to understanding religion are gone. And what happens then? The Prophet continued, "People will take ignorant ones as their leaders. They will be asked, and they will give answers without knowledge. They will give advice, speak about religion, and decide people's fates. But their words will be based not on knowledge, but on personal opinions." And then the Prophet said, "They will lead people astray, and themselves go astray." Sign 3, the increase in killings. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Before the day of judgment, al-Harj will increase." The companions asked, "What is al-Harj?" He replied, "Killing." This hadith is recorded in Sahih Muslim, but even more chilling are the Prophet's next words. "A time will come when the killer will not know why he killed, and the one who was killed will not know why he was slain." This is a description of chaos, when blood is shed without reason, when human life becomes cheap, when death turns into ordinary news. This is the era the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, called the time of great turmoil. Sign 4, competition in building. Tall structures. One of the most well-known signs is contained in the hadith of Jibril, recorded in Sahih Muslim. When the angel Jibril asked the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, about the signs of the day of judgment, among them it was said, "You will see barefoot shepherds competing in the construction of tall buildings." Think about that image. People who once lived simple lives, people who herded livestock in the desert, will build the tallest structures on earth. Today, skyscrapers have become symbols of power, wealth, and technology. And nations compete to build higher, faster, and more expensively. Yet more than 1,400 years ago, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, already said that people would compete in the height of their buildings. Sign 5, people will envy the dead. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "A time will come when a man will pass by a grave and say, 'Would that I were in his place.'" This hadith is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. Why would a person wish for death? Not because of poverty, not because of illness, but because of chaos and the crushing weight of life. When the world becomes so heavy that a person begins to think, "I wish I were no longer here." This is a state of despair, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warned that such times may come. Sign 6, the years of deception. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Before the day of judgment, years of deception will come. This hadith is recorded in Sunan ibn Majah. He went on to explain, the liar will be considered truthful, and the truthful person will be considered a liar. The traitor will be considered trustworthy, and the trustworthy person will be considered a traitor. Then the Prophet added one more phrase, one that gives pause. He said, and then the Ruwaybida will speak. The companions asked, who are the Ruwaybida? He replied, insignificant people who will speak about the affairs of society. That is, people without knowledge, without wisdom, without responsibility, but with a loud voice. Sign 7. The appearance of Imam Mahdi. Before the great events of the last days, the hadith mentioned the appearance of a righteous leader known as Imam Mahdi. Reports about him are found in Sunan Abu Dawud and Sunan al-Tirmidhi. It is said that he will be from the lineage of the Prophet. He will appear during a period of great injustice, and his mission will be simple, to restore justice upon the earth. But it is important to remember, no one knows the exact time of his appearance. That knowledge belongs to Allah alone. A final reflection. When you read these hadith, a strange feeling arises. On one hand, it seems as though these words describe the modern world. But on the other hand, a Muslim must remember one important truth. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, did not speak of these signs so that people would guess the date of the end of the world. He spoke of them so that we would prepare, because for every individual, the end of the world may come much sooner. It comes at the moment of death, and at that point, neither wealth, nor power, nor status will help. Only one thing will help: faith, and the deeds one performed for the sake of Allah. And perhaps the most important question today is not whether the last days are approaching, but whether I am ready to meet my Lord if that day were to come today.